Hey people. Um, yeah, I'm still working on some stuff for that other video, but I want to talk about a comment that was just left on the vlog that I have up now. But when I did this, I had it up, but I haven't changed hadn't changed the title and stuff. So, um, a guy left a thing, and first off, to the gentleman, if we ever happen to be in the same say in the same town or the same whatever, and the opportunity arise, dinner and a movie, or movie TV night. Yeah, no, I pretty much save that for people that I'm planning on fucking. Um, but if you want to take me out for a dinner or something, cool, totally cool with that. I have no problem with other people picking up the tab. So, anyways, he wrote something that I I disagree with. Just the line. I mean, some of what he has to say, I'm okay with. But let me get the exact line here. Um, it the line is consent is tricky, as in the lack of options. I have a major problem with that because if there's a lack of options, that's your fault. It's that simple. You gave an example of, um, let me see if I can pull it up here. My tablet does not want to be nice to me. An example of, would you like to be poisoned or stabbed to death? Here's the thing. That's not how sex play of any kind should work. I don't care if you're talking about just a hardcore play scene or just sex. The only reason there's a lack of options is because you're not negotiating. You're not thinking. You're treating it like one of the partners is going to come in and state, I can fuck you in your mouth, I can fuck you in your pussy, I can fuck you in your ass. Pick one. And then the person has to say, if it's a real thing that you're trying to do to negotiate the play that you're about to do, again, regardless if it's sex or if it's, some other kind of play, that's on you for not speaking up. And forgetting there's always one option that's always in place. Always. No. Don't stop. You could say, no, I don't want to do this, and walk out. Part of the reason that I really advocate safe words. If you ever going to play with anybody, especially in a way that you're going to be compromised from the normal way that you have to communicate, i.e., in a BDS scene or a role play scene, where it is made very clear that words like no, don't, and stop don't apply. Only the safe words. And if that is agreed to by both parties, then your normal outs are gone. But your safe word is going to be as valuable as no, don't, stop. If you're sketchy about playing with somebody because they only give you a couple little options, walk away. Again, this goes to being responsible as an adult. Keep in mind, at the end of the day, the only person who's going to have to truly deal with whatever you agree to do is you. Whenever I play with somebody, whether it's simply, a simple fuck or a hardcore play scene, hell, even when I do hypnosis, I have good conversations with everybody that I'm playing with. And we work out. Either you can do it in a little fun, sexy voice, or you can do it where it's a sit down. Let's talk about this. Let's get some things clear. When I'm doing things like a humiliation play, way work those rules. Every scenario I can think of. Is this okay? Is that okay? What about this? What about me using these words? What are using these things? What about doing things in public? What about doing things in private? What about filming things or videoing things? Or thousands of variations of little things could happen within each side of every one of those, and we have to go over every single option. Why is that so difficult? Oh, it ruins the mood. Well, then you're obviously going to regret whatever happens, because you felt bad going into the situation. You felt like you only had this amount of choice, and because you felt like you had this amount of choice, everything in here you're going to regret. Why would you buy that? Why would you put yourself into that position? Saying there's limited options. Yes, consent can be tricky. Yes, consent can be difficult to get to the point where both of you are comfortable enough to go and do these things. Whether it's something simple or complex, you have to feel comfortable going into it. And as I've said before, sometimes drinking and getting high will help to make it that you have a harder time understanding what those things are. But ultimately, you're still responsible. What you're stating is something that, if it happens, you're a fool to get involved with. I don't know how much more simple that can be. You always have the right to say, I'm out. I'm done. Goodbye. In any situation. Especially one dealing with some kind of sexual act. And I am lumping BDSM play into that, because anybody who tells me that there is one play type that is not have some sexuality to it. I mean, hell, I do cupping. I have a big set over here for cupping. I have a whole ton of other glass for cupping. And the thing is that I play with people who I'm never going to have sex with. I play with people that are already in relationships and things like that. I'm never going to have sex with them. It's just not going to happen. But there's something sensual and sexual about doing cupping right. And the thing is, the person had to me, when they're under my cups, have to know this. I'm going to be touching them. I'm going to be touching their skin. I'm going to be moving the cups around. I'm going to be doing a bunch of different things. That itself is somewhat sexual. There's some kind of sexual satisfying that goes on that cannot be duplicated anyplace else. It's enjoyable regardless of who I'm doing it with. But if I get to do it with somebody special, oh my God, does it take it massively up. But every person I play with, I inform them of this. I tell them I'm going to be touching them. I tell them this is going to be going on. And they have full right to say, no, don't, stop. Okay, no, I don't want to do this. And I've had people do that. And they tried negotiating with me about, not only putting the cups on and not touching them. I'm like, I have to. To do things like remove the cups, I have to touch you. You have two choices at that point. Don't play with me, or no, I'm going to be doing these things. But the thing about it is that even within that, we tried a negotiation, and nothing worked. But always, 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 she has the right to say, stop. And I've had that. Where when I put the cups on somebody, it freaked them out a bit. So I just quickly removed the cups and spent a couple minutes with them to make sure they were okay. This is part of consent. If you're limiting, only allowing the other person to limit how many options you have, and you still agree to it, you have nobody to blame but yourself. So, again, I appreciate the comment. I just think that an idea like that is dangerous because it creates a lie about what consent should be. So, that's it for now. Be well and safe.